Hey guys, welcome to a brand new segment. I'm entitling this one Tabletop Thursdays. Just like my other content, don't expect uploads too often as I'm currently trying to switch careers into IT. However, I've been dying to do something creative, and a friend of mine suggested doing pack openings. Let's give it a shot. Right off the rip, I'm not really a huge Pokemon fan, and as a kid, my big thing was the TV show. Growing up without cable, but we didn't have it. At least, not unless we were going out and being at a friend's house or we were watching cable TV when we were on vacation. So the next best thing was gaming. My cousin had the full set of first generation and second generation Pokemon games on the original Game Boy Color. And he was like, dude, this is awesome. And he just handed it to me and my brother, and we went for it. And then they were declared basically the devil by our parents and were gotten rid of. So me and my brother moved on to Pokemon cards. I think we had a full list, a full booklet of them. And unfortunately, those were deemed the devil's toys too. So as a little kid, I watched them burn up on my burn pile out in the backyard. Suffice to say, a little traumatizing. Anyway, long diatribe aside, here's what we're gonna do. Since I don't know the game anymore, we're gonna rate each card a little bit differently. Now don't worry, I'm gonna still list the current pricing I can find. I mean, at least a rough estimation as I go along. But I don't know pricing. I'm gonna add that in afterwards. What we're actually gonna rate these on is more based on the artwork. So we're gonna rate it on 4 categories: coolness, cuteness, calligraphy, and collectability. In other words, is the art awesome? Is it cute? Is the writing pleasing? And ultimately, would I own one if I was still into this? So let me give you a couple cards for example here. Sentret. Typical Gen 2 Pokemon. Okay. Card, is it awesome? Overall, not really. I'd probably give this about like a 1 or a 2 of the coolness scale. It's just kind of bland. Cuteness, we do about a 3 out of 5. The artwork is pretty nice. And then calligraphy. That's where we're going to talk about any kind of typography. For this, pretty darn bland. I'd probably give this about a 1 or a 2. There's just not much going on here. And collectability, would I own one? Even though this is relatively low on the scale of points out of, 1 to 5 for each category, I would still own it. I think the artwork is pretty darn cute. And it'd be like, oh, that's kind of fun. I would love to see full art of this card. And then to go to this guy, coolness factor, oh heck yeah. Guy that looks like he's riding on a freaking dragon. Let's go. 5 out of 5. Cuteness, probably a 1. It's not that cute of a card. It's just going for it. Calligraphy, pretty awesome. I would say 3 or 4 out of 5. And for collectability, would you own one? Yeah, I would definitely own this one. That just looks so freaking cool. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to do here. And what do we want to start with? You know what? Let's start with packs. I kind of want to try the randomness of them and see what happens here. Come on. There you go. Ooh. Don't bend the card. Don't bend the card. All right. Let's see where we can get it into focus here. All right. Cutie Fly. Not bad. I would say on the awesomeness scale, or the coolness scale, 1, 2 maybe. Cuteness, that's like living at a 3 or 4. It's a pretty cute card. I do like the trainer on the side. That's kind of nice. Calligraphy, not much is going on with this card. I do like it better than the Sentret there. It's not half bad with overall the design of it. It's just kind of bland. Would I own one? Probably not. Petalil. Awesomeness, or I'm gonna keep calling it awesomeness, dang it. Coolness. 2, 3, calligraphy. I really like the color that's going on here. It's just, to me, it works more than Cutie Flies did. And I think that part of the reason is because of the coloring that we have on the Pokemon itself. Cuteness. Oh, that's almost like a 5 out of 5. That's pretty darn adorable Pokemon right there. Calligraphy. 1. And would I own one? Yeah, I think I would own that one. Mincino? Something like that. Right off the bat, this thing gets a 0 for cool. This thing just looks so pathetic. Cuteness, I'd probably give it about a 3. It's not bad. Typography, probably a 1. Would I own it? Probably not. Toad School? Looks like a running squid. So odd. Coolness, I think it's the eyes, but it's given me like a 2, maybe a 3. He's just like, dude, what's up? I am strolling here. Cuteness, it's not doing anything for me. There is nothing about this card that I'm like, that's cute. It just looks downright ugly. Would I own it? No, absolutely not. Grimmsnarl. Now that thing looks freaking sick. I love the design of that guy. I would give him probably a 4. That's a pretty decent design, even if he is just a goblin. Cuteness, I'm gonna say 0. There is nothing going on with that guy. Calligraphy, not half bad. I do like what they've been doing here. Definitely having 2 moves fills the card out a little bit better. I would probably give it a 2. It works pretty decently here. Yeah, I think I'd own that one. That's not bad for the art. Items. It's an item. There's not much to say about this guy. We've got Electrode. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, if you enjoyed the Pokeball design, then you really like it. Or if you just think, is this just a dumb thing that they made a Pokemon look the same as a Pokeball and just flop the colors. Honestly, I'm kind of neutral. I do like the card. I think it's looks pretty darn decent in the coolness factor. Probably give this about a 3. And I do like the callouts here. That's pretty neat. Cuteness, give it about a 2. He's really going for it. I like that about him. He's just like, I've got this. Pretty good expression. Calligraphy, I like how everything's laid out here. And then, would I own it? Yeah. Graveler? I've never been a fan of this evolution. I've never really liked Geodude, etc. I've always been more of an Onix fan, even though Onix is weaker, at least in the games. Graveler on the coolness scale, I'd give him a 3, I say. I don't particularly care for this art, but it's not bad. Cuteness, it's the art style that's making him look cute. I always thought, especially in the games, he looks just kind of ugly. Would I own it? Probably not. Cramorant. Boy, is that a hideous looking Pokemon. Coolness, 0. It's basically a dodo bird. Cuteness, ish. In a dumb way, I guess. It's just an ugly Pokemon. I do like the typography though. I'm glad they added a description. It really does help fill out this slot here. But otherwise, I would not own that card. Ludicolo. I mean, he looks like he's at a party, man. It's just not my thing though. I think the art is great. On a coolness scale, I'd probably give it a 2. On a cuteness, probably a 4. They just splattered color here and called it a day. I don't think it's the best art, but it does grab your attention. The foil to it, not bad. It does help. It almost gives Ludicolo, some movement to him, which adds to the value. I don't think if he wasn't a holo, let me think about that. If he wasn't hollow, I think it would really bring down that card. Would I own it? I don't think so. Let's do cute pile, and absolutely would not own pile. And then would own cool. We'll throw in the cute, why not? Okay. Let's get rid of that first off, and we'll move on. Morgrim. Cool. Definitely a cool looking card. Cute. Not really. Clearfee. Kind of like a 2. Would I own it? Yeah, I'd probably own it. Stunfisk. Ugh. Clearfee's not bad. Has 0 coolness, 0 cuteness. That one I would not own. Bombardier. I really like the look of Bombardier and the artwork here. Coolness, probably a 3, maybe a 4. Cuteness is like a 2. He's just, you know what? It would be a 4 coolness, 2 cuteness. He just looks awesome in my opinion. Even if in the game he's kind of dumb. Clearfee, 3, yeah. He is cool. I would definitely own that one. Parasect. He's always looked kind of dumb. I do like the look of this card though. 3 on the calligraphy scale. Cute, yeah, 3. Cool, definitely a 1. But would I own him? Yeah, I would own him. Copperjaw. Not a fan necessarily. It's a cool card though. 2 on the calligraphy. Cute, he's more a cool one. Would I own it though? I don't know that I would own it, but he's definitely a cool card. Ends Castle. Good luck. Calligraphy sucks, but I would love to see a full castle and like a couple of people walking in it. Oinkalone. Interesting. Not my art style. So that's kind of throwing me off on this one. And not cute, a little cool. The calligraphy is not half bad. Maybe a 2 or 3. Would I own it though? Nope. Shuppet. It's a very basic card. I think I'm good. Not bad art though. He is kind of cute in a dorky way. Calligraphy's not good, but not bad for the cute side. Lilligant. Dude, I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for flowers, so that's kind of me, but cuteness, max. I love the look of a Lilligant. I would definitely own that card. And for calligraphy's sake, looks great. I think I'm gonna throw it there. Metagross, not a fan to be honest. It's not a bad design. Foiled doesn't really do as much. I think it's a cool card. I think he does look pretty cool in his pose. I would definitely give that a 4. Cuteness, there's nothing there in my opinion. Calligraphy, not bad. This is like a 2 or 3 for me. Overall, typography fills out the card really well. Would I own it though? Maybe. Maybe I would own it. We'll see. This is kind of fun. Okay. Silly Cobra. He's dorky. Not bad art. Cool? No. Not in my opinion. The background is great though. I do like the setting. Cute. Not in my opinion. Calligraphy's not bad. I would probably give that a 2, maybe a 3. Own it? I don't think I would. Fungus. Dude is living his best life. That's all I'm going to say on that. Not bad. Not a bad card. I think artwork is decent. Kind of basic though. He's not cool. Calligraphy, I'd probably put it a 1. I'm just not a fan of this card. It's not bad, but I'm just not a fan. I would not own that. Darumaka. He's a dancy, happy little guy. Cuteness, 2 or 3. Coolness, 0. There's nothing going on that says this guy's cool. Calligraphy, 2 or 3. Would I own it? I'm gonna have to pass. I don't think I would. Noibat. Oh, dude, I wish this was foil. I think it would accent what we've got going on in the background. I think that's a cool design. And he's kind of cute too. He's like in between. I don't know what to do, but not bad. I would give Calligraphy a 1. It's pretty darn basic on this card, but I would definitely keep this guy. I think I'm going to throw him in the cute section. Darmantian. Great action shot. Calligraphy is pretty on point. I kind of like the look of that. Coolness, he looks pretty darn cool. Cute? No. But would I own it though? Sure. Lily's Pearl. The hollow really adds to that. I love the look of that. That's pretty cool. Hops bag. Meh. Mimikyu EX. You gotta be a Mimikyu fan to like this, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm not. But they did pull out all the stops. I will say coolness, he's about a 3 or 4. Cuteness, I would probably say a 4. I don't necessarily like him, but I will say a 4 because he is cute to a lot of people. Calligraphy, pretty good. I'd say a 3 or 4. That to me is definitely a good looking card. I would own it. Funny, I'm just doing this on a whim and I'm realizing I am almost half an hour in. This is not good. This is not good. Pupitar. Meh. He's kind of cool. I would put him on a 3 scale, 2 scale for cute. Definitely a 1 or a 0 for our calligraphy here. Would I own him though? Maybe. Oof. Geodude, buddy. I've never been a fan of Geodude, and the art is not helping. I'm sorry. He's kind of cool. I'd give him a 2. Cuteness, 0, in my opinion. Calligraphy a 2, but I would not own that. Audino. Pretty cute. 0 coolness, in my opinion. 3 on the typography or calligraphy. Would I own it? That's the question. Yeah, sure. Lily's Comfy. It's pretty. I've always thought that this is a very dumb Pokemon, but it's pretty. I would definitely put it in the 3 or 4 on the cute scale. 0 for coolness. Calligraphy is probably a 3? Yeah, 3. Would I own it though, based simply on the art? I don't think so. I don't think I would. Excelgor. Meh. It's like, it wants to be cool, but it's not. The calligraphy kind of saves it with the description to fill it out a bit there. But otherwise, how'd you go? Pelipper. I remember you. Kind of a cute card in a dorky way. 2 moves. At least it gives it something for calligraphy to fill out the card a bit. Would I keep it though? Sure. Greedent. Big fat squirrel. Cute. He runs on a 2. Coolness, 0. Not much to say on that guy. Florigato. Florigato? This guy's a pretty cool one. I actually started with him when I was playing Scarlet and Violet for a little bit. I do like the look. I like his voices, or his voice line. And the hollow actually kind of helps with him. 4 for cool, maybe 5. 2 for cuteness. Although 1 for your calligraphy. Like, I feel like he should have more to fill him out here. But yeah, I would definitely keep Florigito, whatever. Squovit, it's cute. We can't deny that. It's a 3 or 4. Coolness, Hollow honestly doesn't really help here, in my opinion. But I think I would keep him. Magmortar, cool design. I do like that. Calligraphy's on point too. Cute, meh. Would I keep him? I think I would. Yeah, I don't think I would keep him. It's not a bad card, but I don't think I would keep him. You know my floor is gonna be a full mess by the end of this. Remoraid. Boy, what an ugly Pokemon. Card art isn't half bad though. I do like the look of it. Coolness is obviously a 0. Cuteness is a 2. Calligraphy is not bad here. That's like a 3. Remoraid, would I keep? Probably not. Carablast. Oh boy, we are hitting on the ugly ones today. I'm gonna sweep this one. 1, 1, 1, 1. Would not. Torchic, yeah. I do like it. It's a cute Pokemon. The flowers got me there. Calligraphy, not great, but I would keep that guy. Another Lilligant. You know exactly where that's going. Golem. Not my favorite art style. I don't like that it looks like he has a mustache. Even though I would wear one. I do not like it on this Pokemon at all. Coolness is a 3. Cuteness is a 1. Calligraphy not bad. I don't think I would keep him though. I think I'm good on that one. Ooh. Scavalier. I think he's from Pokemon Sword and Shield. I do love the idea of him. Like, to me, he looks pretty cool, even though he's almost nothing. I just really like the look. Calligraphy's not bad. Coolness is like a 4 to me. Cuteness, it's like a 1, maybe a 2. I would keep that. Cubone. Great design. I do like this Pokemon. We'll call him in the cool factor. I do like him. I'd say a 3. Cuteness is a 3. Calligraphy is a 2. Hollow honestly isn't doing anything for me though. Kilowattrel. Great design. This is a really good looking card in my opinion. This one would be the one I would want to see a hollow on. Not just this foil. That looks freaking awesome. Coolness, that's like a 5. Cuteness is like a 2. Calligraphy, I want to put it at 3. And we are definitely keeping that one. Okay, trying to grab the sides so I'm not touching the face. Okay. Geodude, we know. Lotad. Man, what a dork. But I kind of like it. This is a pretty funny card. That's a cute one. And I would definitely keep it. Zorua. Man. I am looking at this card going, I wish there was more going on. Because I want the background to be like a hollow or a foil or something. I absolutely adore the artwork on this. I think that is just so cute. Pretty cool. I love the colors on him. Calligraphy, I wish that, again, they were doing more. Because that, I think, is a pretty cool looking Pokemon. I would definitely keep that. Octillery. Meh, it's an okay card. He kind of falls into the cute more than cool factor. At least the calligraphy's going for him, but I would not keep that. Whalmer. It's just a ball. Really? And it's hollow, too? Honestly, like, it's a little cute, but I would... Sorry, guys, I would not keep that. The Lycanroc. Lycanroc? I don't know. Pretty good. Pretty cool design. Kind of cute, too. I do like the calligraphy. That I would definitely keep. Alright. Getting a little Matthew McConaughey up in here. Petalil. You know I'm keeping it. I love the look. Pilswine. Interesting art. I'm not sure if I like the upward shot for this guy. Calligraphy's like a 2. Cuteness, he is pretty cute. Coolness is I don't know that I'd keep him though. Qfont. Adorable. Not cool though, don't really care for the calligraphy. Sprigatito. Adorable. That's like a 5 out of 5. It definitely needs some work here with the calligraphy, but he's kind of cool, and I've always liked this line. Definitely. Regice. I've never been a fan of that whole line, but pretty decent artwork. I do like that. I would definitely gonna throw him into cool factor. Decent calligraphy too. Corviknight. Oh heck yes. These are just great looking Pokemon. I would do 5 out of 5 for cool on that guy. Really good calligraphy going on here. That's like a 3 or 4. Cuteness, nothing, but he doesn't need it. That's a great looking card. Marowak. Decent. Pretty darn cool. Not really cute anymore, but that's okay. I don't think I needed a hollow of him, but not a bad look. Tyranitar. Okay, it's a dinosaur raging. Okay. I feel like there could have been better artwork for this, in my personal opinion. Calligraphy's not bad. He's kind of cute, kind of cool, but not one I would keep. Snorlax. I kind of like Snorlax. I would definitely keep him, and he's getting thrown in the cute category. Alright. Clang. Kind of dumb. I'm sorry, I just don't like the design of this. Clock gears or something like that? No thanks. For it, adorable. Kind of plain. A little cute, not really cool. Not bad though. Trotagon. It's not my favorite. Like, I like dragons, don't get me wrong. It's just never been my favorite one. I honestly don't think I'd keep him. Clang Clang. Sorry, this typography's not bad, but this just does nothing for me, dude. I'm not a fan of this art. Sandaconda. The previous one we looked at, I thought the background was so much better. It's just kind of cute, not really, kind of cool too. But it's just not my style. Virizion. Not bad. I would love to see a holo of this. I like that. Oh, it does have a little bit. I guess it's not as bright as I thought it'd be, but not bad, not bad. Blaziken, you know that's a 5 out of 5 for cool. The foil really helps with this guy. Like, it adds to the artwork, the punch of it, the EX, and the ability, all that stuff adds to the calligraphy too. So, pretty darn strong card, pretty strong contender. I like the look of that. Are you tired of card packs yet? I know it's a lot, but we just have 2 more. Pangoro. I'm not familiar with this guy. Oh, he's like a bear? And that's his arm? Okay, gotcha. Okay, now that I see it, pretty cool card. I do like the backdrop. That actually looks... that pairs really well with the highlights on his hand. Not cute, but really cool. Calligraphy's not half bad. I would keep that. Larvesta. I mean, he's kind of cute, but he's larva. I've never been a fan of it, to be honest with you. There's just nothing about that card that I like. Butterfree. I'm a Gen 2 guy, so I'm a sucker for Butterfree. I get that maybe this one's kind of plain and all that stuff, but adorable. Calligraphy's need some work, but the holo to it really adds to Butterfree. I wish I could see a full art of this one, because that's awesome. We're down to our last pack. Let's see what we come up with here. Last pack, what do we got? Billy and Onair. Okay. I'm not really, as you can tell, I'm not really rating trainers or any of that stuff. Pancham, kind of adorable. He looks like he's about to get into trouble. Not a bad looking card. It needs a little work on the calligraphy, but overall pretty decent if plain. Black Belts Training. Okay, not bad. It's not too bad. What else we got here? Wooloo! I honestly was kind of looking for this card because I did see it when I was like looking through like some of the more like top 10 cards to look for. I am so glad that this was like on the last pull. I don't know how much it's really worth, but I love the look of this card. It is just an adorable card. 5 out of 5 for cuteness. I just love the look of this card. It is so adorable and it just puts you in that place. Love that. And then we have Double to go from full cute to angry, but cool. Pretty cool looking card. Not half bad. Foil, to me, doesn't add too much to it, but not a bad looking card. All right. And that's all of them. Give me 1 second and I'll kind of lay them out here. All right, guys. Here is the top 10 cards out of the 10 packs that we just opened. I wanted to leave the top 10 so we could compare them, but I also wanted to decide who's the best of the best out of each category. I'm going to start with our discard pile. Like, if I had changed my mind, this is the one card I would have pulled out, and that was Tyranitar. It's not necessarily my favorite, again, but I think the design overall is pretty good. Next up, let's talk calligraphy. There wasn't much, like as someone who's gone from I haven't seen this in forever to going through a bit of calligraphy and typography to coming back to this that goes, I really like any of this, but if I was to pick out of everything that we saw, the Lilligant is the winner. When it comes to coolness, that was tough because I really do like Corviknight, but I ended up giving it to Florigato. Next we'll go cuteness. Cuteness was really hard because there are a lot of great looking cards. Like I especially love Zorua's look, but I'm gonna do the runner-up of Zorua and the winner, Butterfree. Butterfree is a pretty good looking card. I do like Lilligant. It's like it was a real struggle with Butterfree. And at the end of this whole thing, the one card that I would take home out of all of it is the Wooloo. I think that whole art design from what we looked at nailed it. I would love to see more cards like that. It just epitomizes what Pokemon is. And that's basically that. This is going to be part 1 because I didn't realize that this was going to take so long. So I will see you in part 2 when we open up the trainer box and compare these and see which one, based on the art, is the best looking one in my opinion. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I will talk to you later. God bless.